Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host Jom, and since at this time of filming Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning should be out right now, we shall talk about one of the best entries of the franchise, which is Mission Impossible 3, and I've never heard of a better comeback story than Mission Impossible after the disaster that is Mission Impossible 2. And who do you get to inject new life into a franchise, whether for the good or the bad? It's J.J. Abrams. Oh, and him too. He's pretty great. But yeah, J.J. Abrams brought new life into Mission Impossible, bring the spy into the spy world.
You can do it.
The spy thriller into the spy thriller world of Mission Impossible, instead of the whatever John Woo, the not John Woo version of it. Definitely wasn't a Woo. It was more of like a, oh man, that's it.
A whimper.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny. It was fun, but at the same time, it wasn't like this. 3 was the right way to go at like a sequel.
Yeah.
This is what I expect Ethan Hunt to be.
Yeah.
And it was very real. Like this Mission Impossible. It is my first. This was my first Mission Impossible. That I watched in like theaters.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched it in SM Sukat. Why of all places? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a movie there too. And that mall has changed in many ways too. But anyway, I do love the opening where it's just you don't know what's happening. You're like, why is Ethan tied up? Why is his wife being held hostage? Who the fuck is Philip Seymour Hoffman playing? Why is he so mad at Ethan? What the fuck is the rabbit's foot?
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
And like, okay, we cut back to him. Like, you could start with that. But yeah, but it does show the scene of just like absolute trauma. I'm like, this is a far cry from what we had in 2.
Right?
Quick, backflip kick him.
Exactly. Like, Ethan's enjoying married life, and like, if you're coming from 3, you're like, you're not Tandy Newton, you're Michelle Monaghan. Guess that love life didn't last long, huh, Ethan?
No, I did not.
Yeah. She even comes with pre-Breaking Bad Aaron Paul, and you're like, oh, here's you for a quick second. And then Ethan meets Billy Crudup, who assigns him a new mission to rescue Lindsay, who's played by the actress who's that helmet girl in The Rise of Skywalker. I forgot the Star Wars character's name, but Lindsay was trained by Ethan herself.
Right. Yeah, and that was like Ethan's job for most of the time now. He wasn't
agent.
An agent anymore.
Yeah,
he just trains up and coming agents. But
in the way of,
I guess,
our niece too.
Yeah. Like you see Filipino martial arts here as well.
Yeah.
But I love that scene where the wife is just like this is something we would fucking do as guys who are like secret spies.
Yeah.
That can read lips. Is that like your wife is having a conversation across the room? You clearly see it because you could read lips, and you just answer, and she'll be like, "How do you hear us?" I was like, "This is such a guy fantasy."
Yeah, it's like if only I could read lips that well. Otherwise, if that was me, I'd be like, "Yeah, can't understand shit." Wouldn't even bother.
You got the wrong answer too.
Yeah.
You're like, what's he talking about?
It's like, it's Niagara Falls. We weren't even in Canada. Ah, shit. My bad.
Not bad.
But yeah, Ethan rescues Lindsay, but there's like a Suicide Squad device in her head, and she dies because of it. And you're like, well, that's disturbing. How did this happen?
Yeah, and we do see the tone of this movie as well, besides from the start.
Yeah.
The tone of like combat here, it is much more tactical. It's much more, I don't know, I well choreographed. Well, I mean, hey, John Woo, great choreographer when it comes to like his movies.
Yeah.
It's just that this one is a bit more
realistic,
toned down. Yeah.
Like,
it's I don't know if it's realistic, but it's toned down.
Yeah, it's toned down to like the Mission Impossible degree that we all know and love to this day, where Ethan's just guns blazing. He tries to do stuff, but doesn't always work. Same with Lindsay. Like, they're all capable. They're all capable agents. It's just that the fact that Ethan's too late to save Lindsay's life, which sets off this entire plot, which is kind of find Owen Davian, who's played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, and like the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman, who is one of the best villains. I do love the fact that he's the brains versus Ethan's bronze and brains, but he's a match for Ethan in the brains aspect.
I fucking agree. Like, from all the villains, even the one in like Death Reckoning, even though he's supposed to be like the end all be all,
Yeah,
Philip Seymour Hoffman was a league of his own.
yeah, like
You know, he was an amazing bad guy.
yeah, like he didn't have the build of Ethan Hunt, but he had like all the resources and all the brain power to like outmatch Ethan Hunt whenever. The fact that he got Ethan to break as well, you're like, this is one bad guy. Like, it's both Philip Seymour Hoffman and Henry Cavill that are both the best, and like Sean Harris as well, that are both like top tier
Agreed.
Mission
Agreed.
Impossible
But
bad
for me,
guys.
it's like Philip Seymour Hoffman's still on top. Sean Harris, then Henry Cavill.
Yeah. And they get up to the same IMF antics like in Rome. Like, they cause one distraction, and while Ethan goes in, tries to kidnap Owen Davian, all while Lawrence Fishburne, the new IMF like head, has no idea what's going on because Billy Crudup and Ethan are working hand in hand to capture Owen, who has the whereabouts of what the rabbit's foot is. And like, I love the fact throughout this entire movie you never get a solid answer of like, what the fuck can the rabbit's foot do? Do we get an answer? No, we never know. But it's a well-established world.
Yeah, I love that scene in the bathroom where you're like, oh, the girl who plays Nikita from that one show, like, spills wine on him. Of course, he has to change.
Yeah.
And then, like, of course, Ethan Hunt has to, like, you know, come in and just, like, play as Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
And I love, like, he's, like, adjusting the voice modulator to sound like him, too.
Yeah.
I was like, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
Where he's just like,
It shows how
like the guard.
great J.J. Abrams can be at tension. Like that scene when he's like, not, and the guy's like, are you okay, man? Are you fine? He's like, and you're like, what the fuck is going to happen? Well,
And, like, it's that last second, you're just like, I'm fine.
yeah.
I was like, oh.
While the real guy's just like unconscious behind the guy, and you're like, if he opens the door and looks behind, we're all fucked. But thankfully, they're more IMF is capable, and that's when we get like Ethan like breaking it, because Owen's just like, do you have a girlfriend, by the way, or a wife? Because after I get out here, I'm gonna fucking hurt them. I'm gonna make them bleed. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you talk tough for a guy
I
who's
love
been
the line
captured.
delivery.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna hurt them. I'm like, God damn! And like you have him hung, like at the side of a plane. It's just like he's ready to drop you. It's like, you know, he's bluffing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why Owen still has his composure when he's just like, oh, your name's Ethan. Good to know. And you're like, this guy didn't even break a sweat. He's hanging from a plane, like one seatbelt strap away from dying. And he's still like,
Yeah.
I know I have all the cards. You don't. And you're like, alright.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I wish they brought back Lawrence Fishburne, because he is a great IMF head. Like, again, it's him and Alec Baldwin's character and Angela Bassett's characters that are like the perfect like secondary antagonists, where they're trying to stop Ethan Hunt because they don't understand what's going on, but like they eventually learn about the greater good.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I love the entire scene with the ambush.
Yeah.
I know rockets don't work like that, but that shit was so sick. Where like even like has to get the rifle,
Yeah.
has to try to shoot down a helicopter, and then a rocket just like comes at him, maybe a few like 10 feet away,
Explodes.
but he gets knocked into like a car. I was like,
Yeah.
I saw that in the trailer. I was like, I'm fucking watching it for that one scene.
Exactly. And surprise, surprise, Ethan has a timeline because his wife is captured, and Owen gives him 48 hours, and again, surprise, IMF is also after him, and you're like, to quote John Lark in Mission Impossible 6, you're like, when will Ethan ever have enough? And the answer is never, surprisingly, because we're at the last stage of Mission Impossible, and Ethan's still like baby face. You're like, good on you, Ethan, for never turning heel.
Yeah, it's Ethan Hunt is that guy, is that boyfriend who was like, oh, it doesn't matter how many times you cheat on me, I still love you.
I also love how like snarky the IMF head can be when Ethan's trying to defend himself, and he's like, "Well, man, it's unfair that chocolate makes you fat, but I've eaten my fair share, and here we are." You're like, I like how Lawrence Fishburne delivers these lines, especially the "I shit you not, I will bleed on the flag to make sure the stripes stay red." I'm like, you know what? I don't know what context I'm going to use that for, but if I had to use that for the Philippine flag, I will.
Alright. Fair enough.
But yeah, both him and Owen are great antagonists, but one is just a bit more evil because he just wants this device that can shut down civilization. While the other guy's just like, "Can you just explain to me what you're trying to do, Ethan?" And Ethan's like, "But you're trying to capture me." He's like, "Fair point."
But yeah, like once they do like do the by the way, I love that entire fucking scene where he tries to do the math how to like swing from one building to the other, which is like very Mission Impossible of them. Like, they had to improvise that shit.
Yeah, and like even though he's doing the math, they're still like, "Yeah, it's the math's not mathing, man. You're gonna splat." He's like, "No, trust me, it will work. It's right in front of me, man. No."
The guy was just like, "Don't worry, I calculated everything. But damn, I'm bad at math."
Exactly. The shootout's pretty intense. Like compared to the shootout in China, compared to like anything in Mission Impossible 2, you're like, yeah, I prefer this, like, not John Woo style. Sorry, John Woo. This like it fits right for a spy thriller, and like he calls Owen like 5 seconds before, and Owen's like, "You're really pushing it, buddy." He's like, "Yeah, I know." And then he tries to meet with Owen, but turns out he doesn't have the rabbit's foot, and his team gets captured. At the same time, we get right back to the beginning when Owen's like, "You think I'm playing? I will fucking shoot your wife." And you're like, for a moment, I'm like, we're not gonna do this to Ethan. He has so much character. Oh, fuck. Never mind.
We're just like, oh my god. That's when I'm just like, "Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, you son of a bitch."
Yeah.
But then you find out it's some other poor girl.
Yeah.
Like, what was her story?
Exactly. It's Billy Crudup's like, "Oh, hold on. Let me just remove this mask and see it's not your wife." And Ethan's still like, "I'm still traumatized, man, but thank you for the reassurance."
Alright, sure. Yeah, is he the one who plays Dr. Manhattan?
Billy. Yeah. He's Dr. Manhattan. I forgot about that.
We found out soon enough that he was actually the mole.
Yeah.
That was like feeding the bad guy
information
intel on the IMF. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, you thought it was Lawrence Fishburne at first, and you're like, "No, not Heal Morpheus." And then you find out it's Dr. Manhattan, and you're like, "Yeah, you fit the profile of a mole, man."
Yeah.
The character, not the actor, of course. Just Billy Crudup is a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
And then we get the first sequence where Benji is helping Ethan, and Benji becomes like Ethan's tech guy, and until
he
now,
becomes like a staple.
Yeah. And I'm glad he is, because Simon Pegg is like a treasure for cinema forever.
Yeah, I agree.
Small role here for now, but it grows eventually.
I do remember when I was a kid, I always remember watching the scene where like Ethan Hunt runs through, what was it, Bangkok or Thailand?
Neither, it's China.
Oh, it's in China? Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
And like he's sprinting down, and that's when I thought to myself, like, man, he got a lot of stamina.
Right? You're like
I think that was my first experience seeing like Tom Cruise just absolutely bucking it.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, he's moving.
Yeah, as a kid, I was like, it's been like 5 minutes, he's still running. If that was me, I think I would collapse along the way. Like
30 seconds.
Exactly. I do like the fist fight between Ethan and Owen. Like, just since Ethan's incapacitated with the Suicide Squad thing in his brain, like he can't fight properly, but he gets the better of Owen. And I think it's one of the more violent deaths in Mission Impossible, Owen's death.
Yeah, where like he gets tossed into the street and then just like puts Owen into like a truck's way.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the scene in China where poor Ethan almost gets concussed by a truck. Was a stunt gone wrong in real life? Where Tom Cruise is like, "Wait, it's too close," and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Oh my god! Yeah. He could have lost him in 06.
Yeah. We could have lost him in any number of stunts, but every time it cuts
That's very
close,
true.
you're like, Jesus Christ, Tom Cruise, you're pushing 60. Can you stop doing this after the final reckoning? But the man's still capable.
True. Yeah. By the way, I love that entire scene with his once like he was able to rescue his wife.
Yeah.
He had to instruct her how to use a gun
Yeah.
because he will be passed out because he did like the whole
Yeah.
like fry the chip in his brain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he had to instruct her and she shoots
Yeah.
Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
And you're like, did you do that? Alright, don't worry about him.
Yeah. He's fine. You're like, he's not fine. He's like, shh, shh, hush, hush. And then he has to explain to his wife, like, why is she in China? Why is he a hostage? Why does he know these things? And then he explains to her eventually. And then he goes to Lawrence Fishburne, and we still don't know what the fuck the rabbit's foot is. I guess we'll find out. I would love it if in the final reckoning they answer what the fuck rabbit's foot is.
Rabbit's foot is?
Yeah.
At first I thought it was a disease, a bomb. I'm like, what is it?
Yeah, exactly. We'll find out. Yeah, the movie should be out right now, and I should have the answer by the time we release this, and hopefully you get to see it by the time it releases. Yeah. But until then, again, Mission Impossible 3 is a very solid entry. It's maybe my second favorite, just because I'm biased towards Henry Cavill.
Oh, okay. No, this is my favorite. Like,
yeah.
And then the second one is Henry Cavill's.
Yeah. There's no questioning that J.J. Abrams definitely injected new energy into this. And then after him, it's the director of... Same guy who did The Incredibles for 4, and then Christopher McQuarrie all the way through. But like, the revitalization, the comeback story of this film franchise begins with J.J. Abrams. And like, for better or worse, J.J. Abrams definitely knows how to inject new life into franchises he touches that have been on the low for a while. Like Star Trek and Star Wars, for better or worse, again, revitalizes new projects. Whether they go great or not so great, you never know. But he definitely brings in new energy. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, what would you rate Mission Impossible 3?
I'll rate Mission Impossible 3 a 9 out of 10 because I really can't find a lot of like bad things about it.
Yeah.
Like the pacing was great. Like the stunts were great. The choreography was great. All of the things that like made Mission Impossible was there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just shootouts. It wasn't just like this is like probably the first time after the first one.
Yeah.
We saw Ethan being like, oh, I kind of gotta think on my toes.
Yeah.
How do I just diffuse this chip? Where he like puts a defibrillator to his ears or something. I forgot what he did.
Yeah.
And like, or like has to do the math on how to swing from one building to another.
Yeah.
I just love every bit of this movie.
Yeah.
And this was like what put Mission Impossible on my radar. And I was like, I can't wait for like the fourth one was great. The one with like Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Like I love that one.
Yeah, the one with
Probably a solid third.
him and the James Bond's girlfriend in like the later house, right? Leia.
Yeah.
So do the French one. Yeah, she's in that one.
Yep. Yeah, she gets tossed off the Burj Khalifa. Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah, but it's a 9 out of 10. It's such a good experience. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
And like it brought me back to like memory lane because I was just like I remember watching this almost religiously.
Yeah.
And I keep looking for that moment where Ethan Hunt is running away from a rocket and it blows up a car beside him and launches him. I was like, physics doesn't work that way, but okay.
Exactly. Like that's why I liked it so much. I thought Mission Impossible 2 was 3, and I was like, as soon as Philip Seymour Hoffman gets here, it's gonna be good. Never got good. I was like, oh man, I think I confused 2 and 3. Yeah, I'll give this. There's not much complaints. I'll give this a 9 out of 10. It's a very solid entry. Like Henry Cavill bias aside, I think this is the best one. The stakes are high and the tension is just like on. Still, we call that being wound up the entire time from beginning to end. It literally feels the beginning literally feels like J.J. Abrams' version of the opening of Uncharted 2, and you're like, what's happening? How did we get here? Why is Drake hanging off the train?
Now that you mention it, yeah, you're right. It is very much like that. You're like, we're already like in the middle of the game,
Yeah.
and then we're like, okay, I kind of want to see how we got there.
Yeah, exactly. But like it's just as simply the way the franchise comes back from the slump that is to the new heights that it is now is nothing short of incredible. Here's an impossible question for you and the audience. Tom Cruise this time might be coming up as the lead of Mission Impossible. Who would you like to see be the new lead of Mission
I knew
Impossible?
you were gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking.
You know what? The easy one would be Glenn Powell, since he is the obvious choice to be an action star right now, or the action star right now.
Very, very true. Yeah, I think I have to go with Glenn Powell as well.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to say Oscar Isaac, but he's already a little bit too old.
That's true. Like, the man just screams big movie star for the next decade for me at least.
Well, like maybe the next 2 decades. Like,
yeah.
We're gonna hear Glenn Powell at this, Glenn Powell that.
Yeah. I know he has a new movie this year with Edgar Wright. I forgot what it was, but I think it's an action movie. I think it's Running Man. I think.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's a reboot.
What? Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Just to change course, I would say. You know what? I would like to see John Boyega have his own franchise. That's not Star Wars.
Dude, not gonna lie, yeah. Like him somewhat in a Mission Impossible-esque kind of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen John Boyega in a while.
Yeah, since The Woman King, and you're like, God damn, he's fit. Where the fuck is he nowadays? I'm sure he's busy with stuff, but I hope he gets back in the mainstream soon, because he is one of the best actors I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah. If you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And the video I'm Zoda's voices on TikTok and Andwolf on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
You can find me at JohnJum_ on Instagram. It is my article.
Until the next one, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Oh.